We travel to 5 unique Australian places over our 2,700 kilometer road trip from the north end to the east coast of the country. Pubs, hotels, rodeos, and much more. To each place, one story. In the emptiness of the Australian outback, those places keep the road alive, keep the locals entertained, and the visitors, like us, dreaming. Join us for this fantastic drive in the heart of Australia. Welcome to Queensland! First time we made it here.
We are Nick and Mathilde, and we've left everything behind to travel the 7 continents with our Land Rover Defender, the Albatross.
Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, Asia, and Africa. A world tour for real. We want to see it all.
This is day 842, and we are in Kununurra, Western Australia.
This is the next Meridian expedition.
Today is a special day on our lap of Australia because
we're going to be crossing from the Northern Territories all the way to the eastern side. So my map is completely broken. It's lived a little bit, but we're going to be going from the Gib up here, following the highway all the way until here.
So we're really excited. It looks like a long road, but we've heard there's interesting stuff to see along the way.
Let's do it. Boom!
We shipped our Land Rover Defender from South America to Perth, Western Australia 4 months ago. We are quite proud of the journey completed so far and are beyond excited for the next chapter. The road in front of us is long, straight, and some could say boring. So we decided to shake things up and stop on the way to 5 unique spots that keep this place alive. Roadhouses, hotels, pubs and towns of the outback, each of them carrying a piece of history in this remote region. Our first stop is the set of an Australian outback unresolved mystery: the disappearance of Paddy. And the first stop is Larrimah. Larrimah has a very strange story, but the context is important. It's located on a highway called the Stuart Highway that connects the north and south of Australia through the centre. And for decades it was an important spot for people to refuel on the way. Fuel tank getting bigger, less and less people had to stop there. And in just a few decades, population just dropped. The town was left with 12 residents. And one day, one of them disappears.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. First assumption, small town, 12 people live there. Must be someone of passage, cannot be one of the 12. The backstory is those 12 hated each other. So the story is sad. It's the disappearance of Paddy. His house from the TV show was this one that looks completely abandoned now. Really, most of the town was suspected in this story. So in front it was the neighbor and the pie maker. And we're going to check out the Pink Panther, which is the pub of the place. So lunch at the Pink Panther.
It will be a memory for sure. What happened to Paddy? Last seen Larrimah. This is very grim because that's a pie, and in the show they say he might be in the pies. That's so grim. Look at us two, convincing ourselves that Paddy is not in the pies. We can say the place delivers on the eccentric outback vibes. A crocodile, old kayaks, a live music poster, all kinds of rusted pieces of metal and bad puns. The perfect package. Over to our second spot. Fun little stop. The next stop, which is Daly Waters, and over there apparently there's a pub as well. And you leave something behind. We're gonna go check it out, and we're still thinking of what we can leave behind. But let's go.
What can we say about Daly Waters? Our first observation is that the town of Daly Waters has been almost entirely swallowed by the pub itself. Campground, junkyard, museum, gas station, restaurant, a playground with a helicopter wreck, horses in the parking lot and chicken at the gas station. The place is original for sure. So not less toys.
Wow, diesel is 237 here. Look, Paddy.
Ah yeah, again Paddy. That's the Paddy of Larrimah, the village before the guy who disappeared. We're still on the Stuart Highway, so the one heading south. And this place is probably the most famous old Outback pub of the country. It's a real museum.
Yeah, very, very cool place. They have old motorbikes up there. Very old vehicles down here.
They have a collection of barbed wires.
And a collection of all types of barbed wires. You can see here, antique barbed wires. You've got the ones that look like that, the ones that look like this. Australian Patrol motorbike. Cool. This is our second stop on the highway. And we're gonna go across to the pub and get probably a small beer to share. Cool, classic. It's always bras. How did this trend of leaving a mark at the pub came in existence? The story goes, it started back in the 80s from a drinking bet between a coach driver and its female passengers. But it is not only bras dangling around, shoes, flags, money bills, and random objects like broken guitars or phones. There we go. We've been here. Cheers.
Cheers. And here is Tim, the publican, the owner of the Daly Waters, just casually herding his cows and donkeys as sunset came. Back in for the night. Fascinating.
What do I believe? What makes me feel it? To write you this song. 2 hours a day, 5 months and a year. Oh, I loved you too long.
We are at the Three Ways Roadhouse. 3 ways because where we are is the crossroad between the Stuart Highway and the highway we're going to take that is heading all the way east. You can go 3 ways. North, south, east. We're picking east.
As we took the turn east to leave Stuart Highway, we saw the sign next down Mount Isa, 700 kilometers. That is the reality of driving in this region. Remember how we were expecting some landscape change? Well, the main thing that changed is the amount of bugs smashed on our windshield. We did see the trees disappear entirely, replaced by flat and dry prairies. Who says prairies says cattle, and who says cattle says cowboys. And when the cowboys are there, rodeo. Our third stop is the biggest rodeo in the southern hemisphere in Mount Isa.
Do you see what I see? I'm not talking about Nick here stretching. I'm talking about the sign!
Welcome to Queensland! First time we made it here.
3rd province, state, region, I don't know how you call them here in Australia, of the country.
Yeah. West Australia, Northern Territory, and now Queensland.
Cool. Queensland, baby! Fun fact, the time difference between Northern Territory and Queensland is
30 minutes.
30 minutes. I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that?
Nope.
So we just changed time by half an hour. Okay.
Cool.
Why not?
So that means we're half an hour late now for our rodeo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of it, but now we're 30 minutes late for our rodeo. We made it into the rodeo.
Hey rodeo.
Yo. So we missed the rodeos in Texas, and we were really upset about that because that was a typical thing to do in Texas. And so when we heard about the rodeo here, we said, we're so lucky, timing is so perfect. So that's why we boosted a little bit to get here, and we're here.
storyline behind it, Mount Isa Mines is the sponsor because Mount Isa is a big mining town.
Yeah, huge mining town apparently. They do a lot of stuff here, so... Australia.
Cowboys smoking, cowboys whipping hats, cowboys ordering hot dogs, cowboys singing, cowboys trucks, cowboys cowboying on a horse, cowboys cops, and Nick considering whether he could be a cowboy, until the cow gave him that look.
The whole thing is fascinating. We can't help to think that one needs to be a bit crazy to compete in these things. Our guilty pleasure was surely when the cow escapes, leaving the cowboy in the dust. And being in Australia, we were not surprised to see a Toyota podium proudly carrying champions around after each final. Ah, Australia and its Toyotas.
Back on the drive after this pretty crazy experience, we have 2 more spots on our list. I would love to tell you more about the diverse landscapes, but there is really nothing to say as nothing changed.
Whoa, we really felt the heat come right through the windows. It's actually the first time we feel that. And then it came all through the air vents. And so now we can really smell the fire. It's very interesting.
4th spot of the journey, the Prairies Hotel, a piece of history on the Flinders Highway. And our luck was to come at a quiet moment. We could meet with the owner, Tom, and his daughters, Sherry and Bella.
Okay.
But I have to say all them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say them.
I want to try this seat.
I would never sit on this seat. Can you imagine?
Wrong
They would
positioning.
they would pull out your teeth without anesthetics from this. And you own the place for a long time?
Oh yeah. We've been here for over 20 years.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. All our kids were born here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good place to rear kids.
Yeah.
You like it?
Oh, we got a little farm just on the edge of town. What was your name?
Nick.
Nick?
Mathilde.
Matilda.
That's my favorite picture. Only in Australia.
But 1860, that's when this building was put here. And it was a Cobb and Co stop.
A what?
A main horse change for the Cobb and Co. They pull up here, there'd be anything up to 8 or 10 carriages a night. And they'd pull up here and change the horses. Take the tired ones off, put some fresh ones on, away they go again.
That's just
Half the building blew down in a tornado type wind, many years ago, and they never rebuilt it. But it's just evolved, and when the train line came through, the Cobb and Co stopped.
Okay.
and the building stood abandoned for a while, and someone came up with the idea of let's turn it into a hotel, and they made up this dodgy sign and hung it out the front, and it ran for 20 years undetected by the liquor licensing. Lucky bastards.
Yeah, 20 years.
20 years without a liquor license, they went. She's one of the oldest running hotels in Australia. Ringer's from North Queensland. It's from from Longreach up. Everyone travels long distances around here. It's nothing to, we turn the key on in a vehicle here.
Yep.
We're doing 1,000 k's. Yeah. Before breakfast.
Yeah. What's a ringer?
Ringer is like a farm hand.
Okay.
Cowboy in America.
Yeah. Okay.
Like New South Wales, they call them a jackaroo or jillaroo.
Oh, we heard about that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that, Tom.
Beautiful place.
See you when you come here.
You guys got buffaloes too?
Yeah, she's out the back. Buffy. Buffy the buffalo. That's cool. She has a big mouth.
She eats it really fast.
Is it? Basically your pet animal. Not many people can say they have a buffalo pet animal.
We eat a homemade pie from the house and say goodbye to Tom and his daughters Sherry and Bella. Thank you for the time and stories, guys.
As we take the road again to complete this long journey, we finally notice a change. Leafy trees, grass on the roadsides, wider rivers, traffic on the road, and a McDonald's. Our sign we had made it through the Outback remote lands and had finally arrived all the way east.
After 2,700 kilometers from Kununurra, Western Australia, we made it to Townsville, Queensland.
Nice. And it's cool because everything's green now. The desert is really it's behind us. I mean, now everything's green. There's tons of trees, there's flowers, all the grass around the buildings are green. It just feels like we've arrived to a different place on Earth, Australia.
The pubs along the road, the rodeo in Mount Isa. We have something typical from Queensland tonight. And it's sunset time and we're going to
The rugby game is Cowboys versus something. Anyway,
from Canberra. So it's the Cowboys from Townsville against the team of Canberra.
and we're for Team Cowboys because they're from Queensland and this town, Townsville.
And we don't want to be beat up.
Nope, exactly. Australians are nice anyway. And so
The Raiders from Canberra.
that's what it is.
Thank you. Yesterday we were at the rugby game. It was real fun. We're really happy we got to be part of that, and the home team won, which makes for good fun. This morning Nick had to change the bearing on the Defender because we started hearing some noise, and I'm not kidding you, we had our friend Mark coming to help us because he was around, and then there's one other Defender here on the campsite where we are, and so now we have 3 or 4 people working on the bearing, everyone talking about the Defender. We really feel we're on the East Coast. Land Rover are more of a thing around here, and we're starting to meet the community randomly.
Yes, we made it all the way east, and it feels like we reached a new planet. In the next episode, we attempt to drive to the Cape York, Australia's northernmost point, and legendary routes. On the way, the rainforest, animals we had never seen before, and surely one of the biggest 4x4 challenges during this world tour journey. Continue traveling with us in Australia and around the world. Subscribe to the channel.
Perth in April, and we're now beginning of August.
Faut recommencer. Hopefully, come on, it's a week.
That's going to
Papers
be my
map.
bloop section.